What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Happy Monday. Listen, just to let you guys know and remind you guys that I will be interviewing Winter Harris from Love and Marriage DC on April the 29th at 8 o'clock. Baby, we'll get into, we're going to get into some things and things. By that time, the reunion will have dropped. I think the second part of the reunion will have dropped by then. And we'll have some things to talk about, okay? Also, do not forget that it is the season finale, not just for the Real Housewives of Potomac, but also for the Whether You Like It or Not panel, because there's just nothing else out that we as a collective are going to review. Okay? So please don't miss it. Tonight will be on Simply Sakina's channel. You guys know if you're not already subscribed, which you should be. But if you are not already subscribed to Sakina, meet us over there. I will put the link on my community wall. And baby, we have a lot to talk about because, baby, the things have been popping off all day as it relates to the Real Housewives of Potomac. So not only are we going to be discussing the season finale, but we are going to be talking about all of the news that broke today as it relates to Potomac. Okay? All right, y'all, let's get into this. Okay, so y'all see I got caught in the rain. Baby, a thunderstorm was abundant, okay? Y'all know I don't have no permanent anemone in my hair. You can't tell I just got my hair done on Thursday. You can't tell I just got my hair done on Thursday, okay? I'm going to have to call my stylist and be like, can you bump and curl me a little something this week? But either way, it's humid. It was humid in Texas. And then I came home and got caught in the rain. But we're going to get it together. You're going to cuss. I'm not cussing nobody out, Andy. See, look at you being messy. Hey, everybody coming in. So, let's get ready to get into this. This is Martha's Vineyard Season 2, Episode 4. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I honestly don't know. I'm glad I'm doing this live. I'm glad I'm doing this review live because I really don't know where to go with this review because I think I'm going to end up being busy. If busy, you there? You up in the bushes, my boo? I think I might end up being busy tonight because I think I'm going to have an unpopular opinion. And it's not even going to be, I don't even know how to be politically correct with my opinion. So, there go busy. Hey, boo. Yeah, busy. I'm about to be you because my thoughts on this episode of the Real House, of Martha's Vineyard, I think it's going to be unpopular. But let's get into it. Busy, if you want to come up, I can drop you the link, baby. If you want to come up and add your 2 cents, you're welcome to come up. Just text me if you want the link. So, we pick up this episode. The girls are still fighting. Now, I am so confused at this whole argument. And as I was watching this argument, I was thinking, maybe I'm too old for this show. Because I was watching this episode and I was so confused. I was like, so Summer and Jordan, and I really think a lot of it is alcohol infused. So let me be clear. I think they were drunk, right? And Jordan brings up something about her being mad at Summer, about Summer making out in front of her house, and her being embarrassed. Somebody told me on the back end that she lives on Park Avenue. And so, she lives in a very elite part of New York. And she was like, it's just embarrassing. Summer said that she was upset with Jordan because she feels like Jordan talks to her very harsh and she didn't appreciate the way that Jordan was talking to her. So as Summer is trying to explain to Jordan her feelings, Jordan keeps cutting Summer off to tell Summer what her feelings are. And Preston and Alex are in the car like, what the hell? Now, I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all that Nick and Shenise in that moment are me and Abby. Nick and Shenise was sitting on that couch, eating them chips, and dipping them chips in the dip, coming up with different combinations with the cheddar dip and the barbecue dip. And Nick was like, try this combination, it's good. And Summer was like, well, I'm gonna try this combination and it's good. And there was arguments all around them, and they were unbothered. I feel like that would have been me, because I'm just confusion. Why y'all arguing? What we arguing about? So Summer goes upstairs. She asks Bria, not Bria. Bria slept through the whole damn thing. She asks Jasmine, hey girl, can I sleep in your room tonight? Because Summer's tripping. Jordan is tripping. Jasmine's like, yeah, but what the hell is going on? So Amir, who else was in the room? It was Amir, Jasmine, Summer, and somebody else. I feel like maybe it was Preston. I don't know. Somebody else was in the room arguing. Listening to Summer. And Summer is venting, right? And Summer said, I just don't understand how we got here. A couple of hours ago, she was crying in the bathroom and I was comforting her. At no point in time did she say why Jordan was crying. At no point in time did she get into the details of the crying. She just said, I comforted her, and I don't understand how we went from me comforting you while you having a whole moment in the bathroom to now you mad at me and we are cussing each other out in the parking lot or in the front in the driveway. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I was confused. Okay, so me and Busy, I feel like me and Busy, I don't know. I feel like me and Busy might be together on this one, but I don't know, because I was like, I try to put myself in these situations. Now, had Summer got into the details of Jordan's business, the Jordan will have every right to feel some kind of way and feel betrayed. But Summer was venting about what happened to her and why she was confused and why Jordan was confused. So Jordan hears that one little snippet, and now Jordan is the victim. Because she was talking to Preston, and now she's talking about how Preston. She's talking to Preston about how she feels betrayed because Summer is telling her business. And Preston, I can give Preston credit because Preston was like, well, I'm not about to sit here. I ain't getting in that. He was like, I feel like you need to go have that conversation with her. And I guess at some point, everybody just got tired of arguing and yelling. And next thing you know, everybody was asleep. Now, while this is going on, Noel is up in her room crying like her and Alex really were a couple. Now, I understand she was embarrassed. Like, really what it boiled down to was that she was embarrassed. She knows this is going to be on camera. She knows she did a little too much, too fast. And she knows she was doing a lot. Like, I honestly feel like those tears were embarrassment tears. Those tears were not. No, I'm sorry. Preston was talking to Summer. And Summer was like, but I never said anything about why she was crying. I just said she was crying. And that's when Preston was like, well, you need to have a conversation with her. Okay. So Noel was like, I'm going to call my mom. Now, here's when I knew that Noel is just extra and do a lot. Because the minute her mama was on the phone, her mama was like, girl, stop that crying. Stop. I feel like her mama didn't even need to hear the whole story before her mama knew that Noel was doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly feel like her mama was like, oh, shit, here we go. Her mama was like, hey, stop all that crying. Stop. Stop all that crying. So, with that being said, Noel then in her confessional blames it all on her dad. Y'all, this is another moment where I had to step into my I'm just too old for this conversation, I had to try to look at it from because later on, Noel is in the pool crying. She got her feet in the hot tub and she crying. And who was it? Summer was sitting next to her trying to comfort her. Like, and that's when she gives us this whole thing. And basically she says that she has a bad habit of moving too fast with men because she has daddy issues. And she gives us this whole story about how her daddy won't dare, how her daddy never was there for her, and how even as an adult, she's tried and tried and tried, and her daddy continuously rejects her. Y'all, I was like, I get it. Like, I do. I understand daddy. I mean, I don't have them. Knock on wood, thank God. But I understand that when you have daddy issues, I get it. I understand that when you have daddy issues, they manifest themselves in a variety of ways. But I just feel like if you were that embarrassed about, I feel like you came, see, this is where I'm going to be unpopular. And I already know that people going to be in my comments talking about, people have daddy issues. But I feel like in that moment, I feel like you have daddy issues. Let me be clear. But I feel like you were putting 20 on 10 because now you are embarrassed and you're trying to justify why you looking crazy and why you came at Alex sideways down to that club the night before. That's what I felt. I felt like, okay, yes, my daddy situation is real. And yes, I have engaged in bad relationships with men because of my situation with my dad. However, I want to try to not look as stupid on camera or be as embarrassed. So now I'm gonna throw my daddy in this. Because let's be clear, girl, you have known Alex for 3 days. Y'all ain't shared a kiss. Y'all ain't held hands and took a moonlight walk down by the beach. Hell, as far as we know, because production ain't showed it to us, y'all ain't even had an extended one-on-one conversation. Like, y'all had a few little here and there conversations, but girl, like, what have y'all really done to warrant all of this? Like, I get it, you were embarrassed. You tried to turn it into something that it really wasn't. But right, he barely said thank you when you bought him that tofu sandwich. I would have respected. I was drunk, ma'am. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, girl, this is what I would have done. I'm gonna tell you how. And I understand that there are cameras everywhere. The one place you can get away is in the bathroom. So if I needed to go in the bathroom and take a long shower and cry and get it all out, I would have been like Lisa Cole Jam and been all cried out. Okay, I'd have came up out that shower. I'd have came downstairs and I'd have been like, y'all, I was drunk as fuck last night, and I was really tripping over Alex, huh? Baby, it was the tequila. I'd have been like Jamie Foxx, blame it on. I'm sorry. I just would have felt like that's where I would have went with it. That's where I would have went with it. I'm just telling y'all. That's where I would have went with that. Okay. So that's going on. So the next morning, they get up and they go to church. Now, it ended up just being Alex, Jasmine, Nick, and Shenise. Why Shenise decided to go to church, I don't know. Okay. I don't know why Shenise decided to go to church because poor Shenise acted like she never been there. She didn't know what to wear. She didn't have nothing to wear. I mean, it was the first time we saw Shenise in some clothes, right? But she didn't know what to wear to the church house. She didn't know how long the church was gonna last. She was yawning. She was probably still hung over. Now listen, I ain't never gonna tell somebody they can't go, baby. Go to church, get it. You never know. The spirit might hit you, right? The spirit might hit you. The Lord might give you a word. It might be a reason why you there that day. So I ain't really mad that Shenise went, right? But Alex comes in and he specifically asks, I cried during that part. I think it's because I'm still struggling with those daddy issues and the need for male validation. It's hard. Okay, busy. I love my busy. So Alex comes in the room where Jordan and Noel are sleeping, and he says, Jordan, were you going to church? As Summer, I mean, damn it, y'all, these names. And Noel is mad because, well, he didn't ask me. I mean, I'm sitting here too. I mean, why didn't he ask me if I wanted to go to church? Then Bria was like, yeah, he didn't ask me either. Now, to be fair, Alex, you did go in that room, and I know you saw two people in that room, and you only addressed one of them. You could have said, hey, y'all, do y'all want to go to church? And you ain't knock on Bria's door at all. But, you know, Alex was like, listen, it was an open invitation. I didn't know I had to come door to door and ask everybody individually. I feel like they had a conversation about going to church, and the rest of them got drunk and forgot about it. And Alex remembered because Alex grew up in the church, and church, he really wanted to go. That's how I feel like it went down. If you really want to know the truth of the matter, I feel like that's what really went down. So the next morning, Bria is still in her feelings about this whole, what her name, Michaela? What the girl name, y'all? Why I can't remember her name. It started with an M. Malika, Michaela. What the baby name? I don't know what the girl seeing Alex. I don't think Alex is a bad looking guy, but I wasn't impressed with him last season as far as his personality. Like, he's not somebody that. Did they go to church last season? I don't remember Alex being so churchy. I think Alex did go to church last season, but I think he went by himself. But don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. What's up, Jonathan? Right, Gabby. He could have just screamed at the bottom of the step. Mariah, thank you. Thank y'all. Y'all know I couldn't remember the baby name. Now, I'm going to say this. Bria, I mean, we're going to get back to this conversation at the end of the episode. But, Bria, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not entertaining it. I'm not entertaining none of this conversation with you feeling some kind of way about Mariah coming in the house. Because after they dropped that clip over to the Kempire podcast, where you called into Kempire's show last season when he was reviewing Martha's Vineyard, and you said that you have talked to Mariah since the show was over. You and Mariah have cleared the air, that y'all are good, and you were open and would love for her to come back on the show, as well as she back in the group chat. Which means I'm just going ahead and call a thing. Either this is production or it's you. Either this is production creating this moment or it's you creating this moment. But I am not convinced. Like, if she back in a group chat, then you know good and daggone well her ass was coming. Because I'm not giving Jasmine that much. I'm not giving Jasmine that much sneakiness. I'm just not. I'm sorry. I'm not giving her that much. I ain't giving her that much. You knew her ass was coming. Now, either that's a production situation where they told you to bring it up, or that's you looking for a moment. And when it comes to Bria, I mean, that's a 50-50 thing. It could very well be her. Okay. So y'all know that each one of them have to throw a party. Each one of them have to have an event. So they all go down to the beach. They go to Inkwell Beach. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I enjoyed their day at the beach. I feel like, let me say this. I don't know if last season, because the show was built around Jasmine, like she was the centerpiece of the show, I don't know if Jasmine felt like she had to do so much, or if Jasmine took it upon herself to do more. I honestly don't know. But I feel like this year, everything is so much more relaxed. I feel like the games aren't as intense. Like, they were down at the beach basically playing, instead of Simon Says, they were playing Martha Says, and then they were playing Black People Dictionary, which I kind of want that game. But it was fun. It was fun. Like, they were literally just sitting on the beach, laughing and joking, having some drinks, having a good time. Like, honestly, you guys, I enjoyed watching them on the beach versus last year where Jasmine had them trying to do the damn Summer Olympics down to the Martha's Vineyard. You think it was Silas? You know what? It might be Silas, because this year, everything just seems so much more fluid. Like even with the whole church thing, I feel like last year it would have been an all or nothing. I feel like last year it would have been like, everybody got to go to church. Everybody got to get up and go to church. I feel like, I mean, I said this in my review last week. I feel like it's a lot more, okay, you can either do this or you can do that, which is a lot more of what my vacations are like. You know what I'm saying? Like when me and my friends go on vacation, it is just chill. It's listen, if you want to get up at sunset and watch the sunrise and meditate on the beach, baby, have a good time. I don't need to be there. You let me know because I feel like I done seen the sunrise. I don't need to be there today, right? If I have another friend and me and that friend want to sit in the pool until our fingers shrivel up, then that's what I'm going to do. If I got another friend that say, well, I'm going to go on this tour. I found this little tour. Anybody want to go? It's $20. We're going to go take this little tour to the city, and 3 people want to go. Like, I feel like that is more realistic on what vacation is. And I understand that for the purposes, it also could be like, part of it could also be that they clearly expanded production this season. And maybe last year it was more about not having the camera crew to film 2 or 3 things at one time. Whereas this year, clearly they have put more budget into the show. The house is bigger. You know what I mean? You could definitely tell they have put more into the production of the show. So I think that might be part of it as well, but it's just more realistic. So anyway, they get back from the beach and they are getting ready for dinner. Amir cooked. He did braised the rib, and then he even had a backup in case the rib wasn't done. He made steak and cheese without the steak. Without the cheese. Child, Philly cheesesteak without the cheese is not a Philly cheesesteak. I hate to be the one to tell you. I'm sorry. Bria did a stuffed chicken. Preston seems to be famous for his macaroni and cheese because I feel like Preston makes that macaroni and cheese for every meal. But they cook. Like, they really be having some real meals. Like, you could definitely tell they don't be Uber eating it every episode. Every meal. So Jordan and Summer go to have a conversation. And I know I'm gonna be unpopular for this. I'm probably gonna be unpopular for this. But can I tell you that this conversation was insufferable for me? I was sitting here and I'm listening to Jordan, and I'm really, really trying to. I'm really, 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 really trying to hear what Jordan is saying and feel her. I'm really trying, y'all. But I'm listening to Jordan talk to Summer. And even when Summer said, I know that you, just so you know, I didn't tell anybody why you were crying. I was just upset, and I was making the point that literally I was comforting you earlier in the day, and now we're fighting, and I don't know how we got from A to Z. But I didn't tell anybody why. And Jordan was like, I understand that. Because you could tell Preston told her. You could tell Preston told her because she was ready for the answer. Because she even said, even before Summer said that, she even said, whether you told them the reason or not, it's the point that you told them that I was crying. I feel like that is a violation of my trust. Girl, what? You just want to be mad. Now you just want to be mad. Because I just told you that I didn't betray your trust by telling anybody. And here's the funny thing. Nobody even asked. Nobody even asked. Well, why was Jordan crying? They let you vent. They let you tell your story. They let you get it off your chest. Unless it happened again, off camera, nobody even said, well, girl, why was she crying? What happened? They let you say your piece. And so now I'm sitting here and I'm like, you just want to be mad. Like, you, at this point, you just want to be mad because, so then Summer said, well, I understand. Like, I didn't see it at the time, but I understand now that, you felt like that was a violation, and I want you to know that I'm your friend. I would never consciously do that to you. You have to know that my intention was not to violate you. Hey, Lolisa, you have to know that my intention was never to violate you. And Jordan gonna say, well, I'ma just need some time. Girl, what? Like, y'all were literally cussing each other out. Y'all literally said some nasty things to each other. But now that you have to actually explain yourself, that's what you're holding on to. Like, you will not let go of that for nothing. You have just decided that is the hill you are going to die on. Okay? The whole thing about making out. Now Summer is justifying her making out with the man in front of the building. First of all, I don't see what the big deal is. I don't care whether you live on Park Avenue or whether you live in Hell's Kitchen. Girl, she was sitting in the car kissing on some dude. Like, I don't understand what the issue is. I don't see what the big deal is. I don't see what the problem is, right? Now, I mean, if you told me that they was damn near naked and going at it, full throttle in the front seat and your neighbors was watching, okay, that might be a little more disrespectful. I mean, you could drive around the corner and find an alley. It's New York, okay? However, again, it's not that serious. But now here comes Summer and her confessional. I've been going through a lot this summer. My grandmother is having surgery, and I have to be there for. She said, and if I want to blow steam and make out, I mean, I don't see what the problem is. Girl, you 20-something years old, living your best life in New York. You're young. You got a little notoriety. You probably got a little change in the bank. Girl, if you want to make out with some dude you met at the club 2 hours ago, I think most of us, I can't speak for everybody, but I think most of us in our 20s have had a moment. Okay, if you want to kiss with some dude and let him rub up on you in the front seat of a car in front of the apartment, you clearly were on your way home. And clearly you weren't going to bring him in the apartment. Clearly you weren't going to sleep with him that night. Because if you was going to do that, you could have took him into Jordan's apartment and y'all could have got into the dudes of the do with the dude. So clearly you were just saying your goodbyes. Like, I was like, you don't have to justify that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to justify that. Girl, you was kissing on some dude in the front seat of the car or the back seat or however shit went. It was a lot, okay? Yes, it was exhausting. And that's why I was watching this episode going, I don't know what to do with any of this. So, they ended up having dinner. Recap their day. Like I said, everybody had the food. They're at dinner and Jordan ain't saying nothing. And Alex is noticing. Alex is like, okay, well, what is going on with Jordan? Because she's being really quiet right now. Like, I'm noticing. She don't seem like herself. But they kind of leave it alone. They let Jordan be Jordan, right? They let Jordan have her moment, right? The next morning, everybody gets up. It's day 6 of 15. So we are halfway there. It's day 6 of 15. Everybody gets up, and it's Bria's turn to host the party. So the party is Bria's doing like Briella instead of Coachella or Baychella. She is trying to get Simon on a flight to get to Martha's Vineyard. Now they're arguing because she said it has been a month since I have seen my man, and I need a little piece of that, a little something. And he is telling her that he can't find a flight. And she is telling him, I'm going to double check because I think you're lying. I think you can find a flight. I don't think you're being honest. Like, I don't believe you. So here's my thing. Y'all relationship has been long distance, the majority of y'all relationship. You don't think that man know how to book a flight? So either A, he doesn't want to come, or B, the flights that are available are not conducive to when he can travel and get to Martha's Vineyard. So now you got an attitude and you mad because you are like, he getting on my nerves and da-da-da-da-da. Something must have happened off camera. What you mean as far as Simon is concerned? Is it me or did anyone notice how Nick seems a little removed from them now? Yeah, they tried to turn that man into a whole touchy-feely pervert. You know what I'm saying? So while this is going on, Bria is upstairs in the room talking to her husband about I feel like it's time for me to tell the rest of the group that I'm pregnant because it's getting harder and harder to hide. Can I tell you something, Bria? Girl, you're not hiding it. You're not drinking and you thick in the stomach. Girl, they know. They waiting for you to say something. But girl, they know. Because I didn't realize how big her belly was until they showed that screenshot of her showing her husband her stomach. Girl, you got a belly. I mean, Jasmine. What I call that girl? Okay, yeah. I mean, Jasmine, y'all. Sorry. So what she said was that she really didn't want to say anything until she was out of her first trimester, which is most women. Most women wait. They say it's bad luck for a lot of reasons. They say don't say anything. So I understand why she's not saying anything. But her husband said, listen, girl, that's your story to tell. That's your secret to keep or not keep. So, I'm okay with whatever you make. Whatever decision you make, I'm fine with it. Like whatever you decide to do. So, probably the next episode look like she gonna tell the child. So we get to Briella and it. So here's the thing, y'all. I get that everybody's trying to be different. Everybody's trying to come up with their own little thing. But you cannot have a festival style party with 10 people in that big ass backyard. Like she had tents all over the place. She had a popcorn machine. She had a personal chef. She had a bar. They were taking pictures, right? She had a photo booth thing set up. It looked beautiful now. Don't get me wrong. It looked really nice, but it looked really open. Because you got that whole yard for 10 of y'all. She even had alpacas show up. Now, we found out that there was an alpaca farm a half a mile down the road. But so we get to lunch and the people are asking about Simon. And she has the nerve to get an attitude about them asking about Simon. Girl, you're the one that they're waiting for. Like you said Simon was coming. They just asked about Simon coming. I don't feel like I owe them anything. If I'm arguing with my man, I don't feel like I need to tell them the details. Girl, you the one that's walking around with an attitude wearing it on your sleeve. Wouldn't nobody have asked you nothing if you hadn't been walking around like you mad? Like, you let it be known that you were mad. You let it be known that you were mad at him, but then you didn't want to tell nobody why you was mad. And again, no, you don't owe them that, but don't act like they're wrong for asking. Like, that's crazy to me. You want to have an attitude, you're going to be mad at Simon, but then when they say, well, girl, what's wrong? I don't need to tell them why I'm mad. That's my man. I don't need to have that conversation. Okay, girl. Right. Now let me tell you something. Cindy said they didn't invite the neighbors. This would have been a perfect time for them to invite them friends that boy named the guy that they don't like from last season. It's started with a P. What I can't remember these people's name. Anyway. It's not Pete. What that boy name? Anyway, this would have been a perfect time for them to call him up and say, hey, where your friends staying? Why don't you have them come? Phil, thank you. Why don't you have them come on over? We having this whole little, outdoor garden party situation. Why don't you invite them to come through? Like, this would have been a perfect time to have a group over. But okay. Neither here nor there, child. Neither here nor there. So, child, the party's over. It looked like it was a whole overhyped situation. Or the buff dude from last week. Right. Well, I don't know if he's still there or not. But, I mean, clearly there could have been some other people y'all could have invited down to the Vineyard. Okay? So, everybody is getting themselves together because they're going out to dinner. I feel like they literally had just eaten. So, clearly some time had passed between the Briella and them getting ready to go to dinner. We see Noel helping Jordan get her wig situation together. And, she's talking about how, wigs used to be something that she wore when she wanted to. Now she has to. And again, yes, it is her story to tell. Absolutely. It is her story to tell. If she don't want to tell nobody her story, she don't have to. But I'm sitting here going, a minute ago, you were so upset and you were so betrayed by Summer. Yet now you telling anybody and everybody the same thing that you thought Summer said. So they get down to the place where they go have their dinner. Okay. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. So we're at dinner, and at a certain point, Alex says, "Hey, girl, Jordan, what's going on, girl? Because I feel like you're not with us, right? I feel like you are not with us. I'm used to you being more present in the group, and I miss your input into the conversation." So of course everybody's sort of joking about it, like, Alex, you miss her voice. Oh. So then Jordan does what I feel like Jordan has been waiting for, right? Because let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna give y'all a little insight, and I ain't saying everybody like me. I'm not saying everybody's like me. I'm not even saying everybody got to do things the way I do things. But I'm gonna tell you, I told y'all I still have a really bad attitude. I just keep it a lot more in check than I used to. And I used to be that person that would get mad, I would get angry, I would get in my feelings, and then I would sit back and I would wait for people to ask me what was wrong with me, right? And I could have an attitude for days. I could give you the quiet treatment for days. Because for whatever reason, rather than being adult and using my words, I wanted somebody to come to me and be like, girl, what's wrong? What's wrong, girl? So then I could tell them everything that I felt like they had done to me. You understand what I'm saying? And in my mind, I feel like Jordan is doing what I used to do. Now, I ain't that person no more. I've grown, I've matured. But I feel like that is what Jordan was doing. Jordan has been quiet ever since that fight the night before when they came home from that daggone party. Jordan was quiet all day long. She stayed in that bed most of the day. She came out when she had to come out. She was quiet at dinner, at lunch. Then she had the conversation with Summer. She was still quiet. She was quiet the next day at the Briella. And now you're at dinner and you're quiet again. And it's like I felt like you were waiting for someone to talk to you. So now here we go with this. Jordan goes on this. And I know y'all ain't going to like what I'm about to say. I felt like this whole moment was performative. That's my word. Have y'all noticed I've been using that word a lot lately? That's my word of the month, performative. I feel like this whole conversation was you talking about how you can't stop and smell the roses. You don't enjoy life because you live your whole life waiting for time to run out. You love your dad, but you can't enjoy spending time with your father, not because he's sick or anything, but just because you can't live in the moment. I mean, I probably would have started DJing earlier if I wasn't so worried about time. Like, did y'all see the way Nick was looking at her? Nick was looking at her like, girl, I know you love her. And then she started talking about how, she just feels so, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I'm just going to paraphrase because I don't remember all the details. But she just felt like, that she just doesn't feel comfortable and she can't be in this space. And, she just feels like, that's just how she's always, she's been moving. And the whole time she's talking, and she's talking about not knowing who has her back and not knowing who's there for her and all these things. All I was thinking about was and disregarded your best friend for the last year based on how you perceived the way she acted last year. Now, don't get me wrong. Jasmine got on my nerves last year. I feel like Jasmine was trying really hard to be the perfect everything to everybody, which I'm sure could be very stressful, and it was annoying, right? And then she even went, what I found really interesting when she was like, I'm single. So, that's a whole thing. Yet and still, you got mad at Jasmine last year because Jasmine was going out of her way to try to find you a man. Now, again, I'm not saying Jasmine was right. I'm not saying her approach was right. But all I'm thinking is, here was somebody that you literally called your best friend. Like, y'all are cousins. And You got mad at her because you felt like she was trying to be a Stepford wife. And to be fair, yes, Jasmine got on my nerves. But to be fair, when I take a step back and I look at it, here Jasmine is. She's a new mom. I mean, she's a new parent. I mean, a new wife. Lord, she's a new wife in this situation that we're still not sure she's happy with. I'm gonna just stand on the side and say that she is doing this television show that she clearly hopes is going to work, right? For a variety of reasons. You want the show to be a hit. You have all of these people coming to the house. You don't know how the personalities are going to blend. And you probably have production in your ear. Let's be honest. You probably got production in your ear. So you mean to tell me that at no point in time in this last year, after the show was over, you didn't say, you know what? Maybe I need to go and spend a weekend with my friend away from the cameras, away from everything else. And we need to really work this out. But fast forward a year later, you've taken trips without this woman. You have totally excluded this woman from your world. And even when she tried to have a conversation with you on the very first episode, your response was, I ain't come here for this. I want to have fun. We're on the yacht. I want to party. I don't really want to have this conversation right now. So I feel like because you were not interested in the conversation, you blew Jasmine off, right? Even when you found out her husband had been deployed, you didn't even reach out to her to say, hey girl, how you doing? Silas is gone. Are you good? And then Jasmine said she ended up moving back to New York and they still don't call her. They still don't reach out to her. They still don't include her in conversations, in things. I mean, and it don't have to always involve partying all night. Damn, can we go to lunch, dinner? Can you just invite me over to your apartment for cocktails? Right? And so here you are on the other end of the table talking about how alone you feel and how you feel this and you feel that. And that's all I kept thinking about was you literally have somebody on the other end of the table that probably knows you better than everybody sitting at that table, yet you have chosen to not allow her to be a part of your life. Well, I think a lot of it, I do think part of her reason for not reaching out was Silas. And that's why I said, once you found out Silas was deployed, you didn't reach out to her. Like, I can understand that part of her reason might be she don't want to be around Silas. I got that. Silas is an asshole. Got it. But you didn't reach out even after you knew Silas wasn't there. So Alex says, wow, Jordan, I really appreciate you opening up. Like, I've learned more about you in this one conversation than I knew all last summer. So she flips the total script. It was like she went, yeah, just my dad and my mom. Oh, no, bitch. I'm going to tell you why you don't know me. It was like, what? So now you start going off on Alex. And now you're talking about, no, you don't know me because you had me fucked up last summer. And you had my friend fucked up last summer. And Alex was like, the fuck just happened? I'm trying to be empathetic. I'm trying to show some empathy. And now I'm the bad guy here? I mean, damn. So Jordan says, well, first of all, when we first met, you called me toxic. So y'all know what one of my pet peeves is. I hate when we keep bringing up old shit that we said we settled. Y'all had the conversation last year. You confronted Alex last year about the toxic conversation. You confronted him last year about it. Y'all had a conversation about it. He apologized about it. Why are we still talking about it? I cannot stand that. I hate when people can't move forward. Because if we can't move forward, what is the purpose of us having the conversation? Why are we still talking about this? Why are we still talking about this? Then, and you had Shenise fucked up. He was like, what'd I do to Shenise? Well, let me say this. I said it last year, and I'm going to say the same thing this year. I said it last year when this came up, when everybody tried to make Alex the bad guy because he brought up the stalking thing or whatever. First of all, I already knew about Shenise before that episode even aired. You know how I already knew about Shenise before that episode even aired? Because it was on the blogs. Somebody who is way more vested in these Bravo people than I am had already Googled all of the people that were going to be on the show and had already found out. And I already knew. I just didn't know which one it was until the episode aired. And I was like, oh, that's the one that was dating the actor. Put the actor's name in the chat, y'all. Which actor is it again? Xavier, I know you remember. I said, oh, it's her. So what Alex said was absolutely correct. What Alex said. Alex was like, girl, look, number one, I ain't Google you. We were all talking about it. I wasn't the only one that knew that information. Bria knew it. Nick knew it. And we talked about it off camera. And I said it. Now, Alex, I don't think he was trying to help nobody. Let's be clear. I don't know about that part. But the point is, girl, if Nick hadn't said it, I mean, if Alex hadn't said it, if Nick hadn't said it, if anybody hadn't said it, we still would have known. Because it literally was all over the blogs before your episode even aired. So Alex wasn't wrong, in my opinion. Then, and yes, I agree. Nikki said, if I'm living in a house for you, for a second, I'm Googling you. Exactly, Norman Towns, thank you. Let's be clear. I Google everybody. Just like I'm sure people Google me. Like who is not using the Google machine in this day and age? So I was like, and then Shenise chimes in with her tears. I was so traumatized. And I'm like, my anxiety is on 20 because it's not true. I didn't stalk him. And now he's trying to get money from me. And it's just, and the whole table is rallying around him. Rallying around her and coming up to her and giving her hugs and all of this stuff. And Alex says, so can I hug you? Yeah, give me a hug. Yeah. I said, where did the tears go? She literally went from a water fountain of tears to, sure, you can hug me. Okay. All right. Girl, what? But he traumatized you. He had your anxiety on 20. Everybody who Googles you, that's the first thing that pops up. I bet you that's probably the second thing that pops up. I mean, and I bet you it popped up before. You know how I know it popped up before? Because the blogs already knew who you were by putting your name in Google. This scene may have been edited down, Cajun, but I can't. I can't with Shenise. I cannot with her. So then, Bria decides, well, I need a moment. And she reiterates that she's not okay with Mariah coming to the house. And I think that was the last straw for Jasmine. Because I feel like, you notice how Jasmine was totally disconnected from that whole moment with Jordan, from that whole moment with Shenise. You notice how Bria was sitting over there eating, Jasmine was sitting over there eating her food. Baby, she had them good scallops and asparagus. Baby, she was over there eating her food and she was unbothered by all. Did y'all see her sitting over on the side and was sitting there looking at them like, what is going on here? So Jasmine says, listen, I need all y'all to understand something. And here's the thing. You could tell in that moment that Jasmine knew just how fake Bria was being, because Jasmine said, we talked about this. I didn't see what the big deal was. Meaning, I know that you talked to Mariah. I know that you were good with Mariah. I don't understand why are we doing this right now. Like what moment, and you could see it on, you could just see it all over Jasmine's face. Like this is a moment. She wants this moment. She is trying to have this moment. Like you could see it written all over her face, right? And she was like, you know what? Now I'm mad. She said, when I walked into this house, I didn't know where I stood with anybody in this house except for you and Alex. And for you to be the one that's flipping it on me right now, because you were the one person that I knew I was good with coming into this house. And now you're the main one that is flipping on me. That I got a problem with. And I got way too much on me right now. I'm way too stressed out. I got a husband that's deployed overseas. I mean, she didn't say this part, but I feel like it's coming in the next episode because this was the cliffhanger, her crying and stuff. I got so much on me, I got this whole baby inside of me with nobody here to support me. I don't have a friend base anymore because all y'all mofos then kick me to the curb. And then I got to watch y'all over on social media posting from Jamaica and dinner on the town where I know that I'm literally in the same city that you're in. And you know I'm here and I know you here and I know you know that I'm here. And y'all don't even pick up the phone and call and say, hey, girl, hey, let's go to brunch. Hey, girl, hey, you want to catch a movie? Hey, girl, hey, you want to come over and hang out for a little while? Because I feel like the reason why Jasmine moved back to New York is I feel like Jasmine is living with somebody. Like, I feel like maybe they were living on base housing or something, and she's living, like, she moved back to New York with somebody so she could be with somebody. So I feel like maybe she's living with a family member or her mom or dad or whatever. And did y'all people, she said her mama is a 2-time convicted felon? Am I the only one that heard her say that? Am I the only one that heard Jasmine say, don't get it twisted, because my mama is a 2-time convicted felon. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. I said, what? Did I miss that story last year? I don't know if I remember Jasmine telling us her mama was a felon. Did she tell us that last year? Maybe Jasmine said, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Okay? She said a 2-time. A 2-time convicted felon. I said, oh my. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. I said, what the hell is going on here? Oh my goodness. Right? I do not remember Jasmine talking about her mama being no convicted felon. And baby, the whole time Jasmine is going off, Alex is on one end of the table giving us the, what the fuck is going on? Nick is on the other side of the table giving us the, what the fuck is going on? You got Amir and Jordan over at the bar taking shots, and they done missed the whole damn thing. I said, you know what? Y'all gonna make me feel bad for Jasmine, because y'all know I didn't have nothing for Jasmine last year. I had nothing for Jasmine. But baby, I feel for you, girl. I feel for you, Miss Jasmine. Because they got you all the way effed up, okay? Now, all of them going to be feeling bad and going to be wanting to rub her feet and bring her motherfucking pickles and peanut butter after she tell them she's pregnant. It's going to be a whole different conversation then. They're going to make Amir switch shows. Why? Because he don't fit in with the black people? Anyway, y'all, that was the episode. That's all we got. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I will see y'all in about 30 minutes over to Sakina's channel for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. Mwah. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.